Hi everyone, today is class 6. We're going to go through the functional fascia lines. These lines are going to be combined with the back and the front line. The back line runs from the back of the shoulder all the way across the back into the thoracolumbar fascia, into the opposite hip and into the opposite hamstring. Whereas the front functional line goes from the front of the shoulder over the chest, across the stomach into the obliques and into the opposite hip flexor and front of the leg. So I will be combining both of those together. So we'll have 2 pre-assessments and 2 post-assessments. All we need for the class today is a band, pillow, mat, and the wall close by. Go and get your things and I'll meet you on your mat. Okay, we're going to start with our first pre-assessment, and that will be with the back functional line. So you're going to have your pillow close by, onto your hands and knees, and you can come up into a plank if it's available to you. If not, just bring the leg all the way through and slide it to the side. Make sure the pillow is where the hip is, and then you can drop the hip onto the pillow. And then in this position, I want you to try and rotate the right hip all the way around the left hip. And try as much as you can to get a straight leg. If you can't, you can slightly bend it to get the hips more secure and in line. And then from here, you will take your hands down and try take your right hand all the way through. And then see if you can try and get the right shoulder to touch the floor. And then move to the opposite side. So coming back into your all fours, sliding the cushion over to the side where your right hip is, and then taking your right leg through, dropping the right hip to the cushion, trying to keep that leg straight. If you can't, keep it bent. And then bring your left hip around, keep rotating it around. It's really important for the hip to be rotated. Then hands come down onto the floor and move the left arm all the way through or under the right arm. And then try and get that left shoulder to touch the floor. Just notice how far you can go. And then come back up into your all fours. So that's the functional back line. And now we're going to go into the functional front line. So you can push your cushion to the side, come down onto your stomach, arms out into a T position, right hand secured on the floor in line with your right shoulder. And then try take your left leg all the way over. So we're getting a stretch through the front of the right shoulder, going all the way across the body and into the left hip. See if you can try and get your left foot to touch your hand. If you can't get it there, that's okay. You can try and do that in the post-assessment. But don't try and get your hand down to the foot. We want the foot up to the hand. Come back to center, take the left hand out to the side and try and take your right leg all the way over to try and touch your left hand. One side may be easier than the other, and make sure you can feel the stretch through the left shoulder into your core. Keep your core engaged all the way to the right hip flexor and down the right leg. And then come back into center and into a seated position. Okay, so that is our pre-assessment, and then we're going to start with our core, go into some functional movements. throughout the class, and then into mobility towards the end, so that we can see a difference in the post-assessment. So, starting on your back in a dead bug position, which means you are having your lower back secured on the ground. You pull the right leg up, left leg up, and the arms up overhead. Pretend like there's a block between the hands. Keep pushing your lower back down into the ground, and we're going to move opposite arm and opposite leg back to touch the floor. Keeping your lower back down on the ground, your left hand reaching up towards the ceiling, a right angle or a 90-degree angle at your left knee, and then you can switch. Hold the position. Keep your lower back down. Keep your core active. And switch positions. Hold. Right thumb to the floor. 90-degree angle at the right knee. Keep your lower back pulling down to the ground, ribs towards the hips, and left toes just gently touching the floor. Switch. Left thumb to the ground, 90-degree angle at your left knee. Pull the ribs down towards the hips, lower back engaged, right toe just to touch the floor. And come back to center, and now you're going to do the movement a little bit faster, but not too fast, and make sure it's controlled. So right and left leg go back, bring it back up, left and right, and lift. Keep the 90-degree angle at the knee, keep control through the core. Don't stop as you are moving, just keep the movement flowing. Right arm, left leg, coming up and switching with a controlled manner. Keep going. Keep the core active and keep a fluid movement. No stop starting. Keep pushing your lower back down onto the ground. Keep breathing and pulling the ribs down. And this is going to be working through or activating through the front functional line. The reason why I do dead bugs all the time is that all these movements carry on throughout the day, when we're walking, when we're running, and keeping active. 2 more. Last one. Hug the knees in all the way to the chest. And then slowly come up. Take the hands behind you. Lift the chest up towards the sky. Fingertips facing towards your feet. And then take the right leg up and down, left leg. Down, right, down, left, down, right, down, left, down, pull ribs down towards the hips, right and left. 3 more, right, left, 2 more, right, left, 1 more, right and left. Now if you can take it further, keep the chest lifted, keep pulling the ribs down, and lift both knees and toes to touch. 1, 2. If it's too difficult, keep it the previous option. 3, 4. Squeeze shoulder blades together, ribs down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Place the feet down, turn over. You can have the pillow underneath your knees for your bird dog, which is the opposite of a dead bug. So now we're on our hands and knees. And if you want, you can move it away if your knees aren't sensitive. If it is sensitive and you don't want the pillow there, you can double up your mat and place your knees on the mat like that. So in this position, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. You're going to take the right arm up, overhead, trying to reach the thumb past your head, and then taking the left leg back without arching into your back. We don't want that. We want core active, even if you can't lift the leg up too straight. And we're holding it here. Keep equal weight in your left hand as well as your right knee. Keep squeezing the left glute and pulling your right thumb up towards the sky. Keep your core active, keep tucking in the tailbone. And then slowly take the hand down, take the leg down, and switch to the opposite side. So left thumb goes up past the ear, right leg goes out. Keep your core active. Keep pushing your weight into your right hand and your left knee, and keep your hip in a straight line. So don't let it open up. Don't arch through the back. Keep your core active, belly button to spine, holding it here. Equal weight bearing through the right hand and the left knee. Keep core active, thumb up towards the sky, and then slowly take the hand down, take the leg down, and now we're going to move fluidly through these movements. So right arm, left leg, raise it up, keep your core active. Slowly bring it down. Don't let there be too much weight shift. So I don't want movement at the hips here. And then move to the opposite side. Keep your core active. It's really easy to activate into the lower back here, where we want to tuck in your tailbone and squeeze your right glute, thumb up to the sky. Slowly take the leg down and switch fluidly to the other side. Slowly bring it down and switch. Down and switch. These easy movements can be difficult, so it's always good to go one step back, and it will help you in the long run. Keep your breath active. Don't hold your breath in these positions. Keep moving nice and fluidly. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. And then push your mat nice and straight. And then bring your right knee all the way into the chest and try and bring the right knee to the left elbow. Take it back to the right elbow and then bring it back in. Left one, into the left elbow, across to the right elbow, take it back to the left and take it down. Right, pulling in, taking it to the left, back to the right and down. Bring the left in. Really activate through your core and lift as high as you can. It may look simple, but it can be more difficult and more challenging even in this easier option. Right, down, left, right elbow, left elbow, back to center, right elbow, left elbow, back to the right and down. Last one, left to the left, left knee to the right elbow, back to the left elbow and back down. You can keep it in this option, or you can take it further by coming into your plank position. When you're in plank, bring your right knee in. Try and take it all the way to the right elbow, across to the left, bring it back to center and back. Left knee in. Take it to the right elbow, bring it back to center and back. Right knee to the left, bring it in, back. Left knee, back to the elbow, back to center and back. Right. and left. Keep going. Right, going to the left elbow, back to center, down, left to the right, come back to center, and come down, rest. Come into a child's pose, dropping the head down onto the floor, and reaching up onto the fingertips to get a deeper stretch here. And come into a seated position. Now that we've activated the core, we're going to go into some functional movements. So stand up on the mat. You're going to have your left leg forward, right leg behind you. Hands by your side. Inhale, raise the arms up overhead. And then open up the chest here. Keeping your left elbow bent, bring the right hand down. And straighten up, reaching the arm up to the sky. And come down, bend the left elbow. Try get the right knee to the mat, lift. And bend. Lift. Bend. And lift. 3 more, bend. Lift. 2 more, bend. Lift. Last one, hold it in this deepest position. Keep pulling your shoulder blades together, dropping the hips nice and low, reaching the chest up towards the sky, and then straighten through that left hand and look towards the left hand as you try and take it down behind you. Try and take it all the way to the opposite leg if you can. If you have to move out of the hips a bit, just to stretch through here, and you'll feel the stretch all the way from the left shoulder, across the stomach, into the right hip. And then slowly let go of that leg and come back up and switch sides. Right leg forward, left leg behind. Take the arms up overhead and then slowly drop the leg, back leg down and lift back up. Arms nice and straight. Drop it down and lift. Drop and lift. Drop and lift. 2 more. Drop and lift. Last one, taking it all the way down, dropping that leg, dropping the hip down, opening up the chest here with the right side. And then straightening through the hand and trying to get the hand down to the opposite leg. Reach as far as you can and hold it here. Remember, even if you're just taking the hand back, you're getting the stretch that we need. You don't have to go into these deep positions. And then slowly come back out of it into a standing position. And then take your left leg forward, right leg back. And in this time, we're going to move the hand to touch the floor and raise it back up. Hand to touch, right hand to the outside of the left and raise it up. Hand to touch, 3. Raise it up. Hand to touch, 4. Raise it up. Last one, hand to touch, 5. Drop the back leg. Try and get your right elbow onto the outside of the left leg and drop the hips. Nice and low here. Keep opening up the chest. And feel the stretch through the back of the right shoulder all the way across the back and into the left hip. Slowly come back up. Switch legs, right leg forward, left leg back. And move the left hand to the outside of the right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold it down. Take your right knee in a little bit, left elbow over the right knee, and twist open here. Dropping into the front leg. Feeling it in the left shoulder all the way around the back and into the right hip. And then come back up. And we're going to take it one step further. So bring it close to the wall. Left leg forward, right leg back, left hand to the back, trying to reach as far as you can. If you want to get close to the wall, that's even better. And then drop the right leg down, keeping your body forward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 more. 2 and 1. Hold it in this position. Drop the hips nice and low. Keep reaching the left hand back and lifting the chest up towards the sky. And then come back up and we're going to switch sides. So we're going to have our right leg forward, right arm back, left leg behind, drop the knee down and lift, keeping the body facing forward. Keep going. Left knee to touch, right shoulder blade squeezing into the spine, body straight. Keep the tension in the right hand against the wall and keep tucking in the left hip or the tailbone. 2 more. Last one. Drop the knee to the floor. Drop the hips nice and low. Keep squeezing shoulder blades together so that the chest is forward and pushing the right hand into the wall to get a deeper stretch through that right chest and shoulder. Feeling the stretch come from the right chest all the way down the front of the stomach into the left hip. And then slowly come all the way back up and switch sides. So now we're going to take the left leg forward and the right hand to the wall. And we're going to drop it down and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 more. 6, 7, and 8. Drop it all the way down and reach the right arm all the way overhead to get a deep stretch through the shoulder here. And then lean the body forward. And then slowly come back up and switch sides. Left leg forward, right leg back, left hand to the wall, drop the left knee down. 1, 2, 3, keep going. 4, 5, 3 more. 2, and 1. Drop the knee, reach the arm over the body, and get that stretch all the way through the shoulder here. Keep breathing nice and deep. And then slowly come back up. And we're going to come onto the mat to come into some mobility. So even though those are functional movements, you're still getting mobility through the movement. But now we're going to come into a slower paced, deeper stretching mobility. So, hands and knees, come into your plank position. Take the right knee into the chest and switch the leg to the left side. Drop the hip nice and low to the floor. 1, lift. 2. If it's difficult, drop the back leg and just do little movements here. 3, 4, and 5. Drop the hip to the floor. Rotate that left hip all the way around. Right hand comes forward to the corner of the mat and reach the left arm through. And now I want you to try and slide it through. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold it in that deepest position and try and get the shoulder down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach that left arm up to the sky and then all the way through. Drop the shoulder down. Reach it up to the sky. Drop it to the floor. Reach and drop. Reach and drop. Last one. Reach and drop. Trying to get that shoulder as far to the floor or as close to the floor as possible. And then come back up onto your all fours or into your plank. Take the left leg through, drop the hip down and lift. If it's difficult for you, drop the back knee down and just do little movements. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Drop the hip low onto the floor and rotate the right hip all the way around the left hip. Take the left hand to the corner of the mat and right hand all the way through to try and get the shoulder down to the floor. Keep your core active and then try slide the hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it in that deepest position. Try get the right shoulder down. 1. Big movements. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Try get the right shoulder all the way down to the mat. Keep lifting through the chest. And then come back to center. Hands into all fours. Knees into all fours. Come into your child's pose. Take the right hand through and drop the head to the floor. Reach the left arm up overhead and reach the hand behind the back. Keep twisting and squeezing your left shoulder blades together. Slowly take the left hand down. Bring the right hand to the mat. Slide the left hand through. Drop the ear to the floor. And then take the right hand overhead and behind the back if it's available to you. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Slowly bring that hand down to the floor. Come back into your all fours and come onto your stomach. Come all the way down onto your stomach. Arms out into a T position. And reach the left leg all the way over. Trying to get the foot to touch and bringing it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold it in that deepest position as far as you can go. And then take the left hand overhead and reach it behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Slowly bring that left hand back to the floor, move all the way back, and then come to the other side. Left hand out, right hand to touch. Bring the left ear down to the floor. And then take the right hand overhead and behind your back. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Pull belly button to spine. Go into the deepest position that you can. And then slowly relax that arm. Take it down to the mat. Come back to center. And switch sides again. Right hand out. Left leg. And then left hand out. Right leg goes to that side. And switch between the two. Switch. 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 And do a little bit more to the right side, just because we didn't do enough on the right. 3 more. 2 and 1. Come back to center and come back up. So coming into our post-assessment, come into your all fours, bring the left leg through, drop the hip to the floor. Rotate the right hip around and try and take the right hand all the way through. Dropping the shoulder to the floor. And notice any differences. Slowly come back up and switch sides. Right leg comes through. Drop the hip to the floor and take the left hand through, trying to drop the shoulder down to the floor. And then slowly come back up. Notice any differences. Come onto your stomach and we're going to check the front line. So taking the left foot all the way over, try and get it to touch your foot or just behind you, that's okay. Feel the difference from side to side, taking the right foot over to the left hand. Keep your core active, belly button to spine, and you won't feel it in your lower back. And then come back to center. And come up into a seated position. Well done for doing the functional lines, the front and the back line combined together. This is quite a tough class, so see if you want to do it again in a week or 2, just to see if you have any changes. Well done for doing it, and I'll see you at the next class.